$16. John Shannon tips Bellman that much now in 2015. At least that's what he says. Before we get underway, boys, let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL. Ben Strivens likes the home cook, and all 6 of his wins have come here at Rexall this year. He's made a total of 88 saves in his last 3 games. And at the other end, 29-year-old Yaroslav Halak led his win streak to 7 straight Friday in Calgary. His 21 victories this year are 3rd most in the league. And this is game 300 of his career. And I like this. I think you can work through the fact that the Edmonton Oilers have achieved for their first time in Rogers Place. Is now an Edmonton Oiler. The other thing is the fact that we've got the 2 best lines going head-to-head right off the hop.
0%
Petrie and Ference join the Nugent Hopkins line. It is Wojciech and Letty with Tavares, Bailey, and Opozo. Halak.
Settings window open button.
We'll give it to Nick Letty. Letty to Opozo to Tavares. That pass out of the reach of Kyle Opozo. The Islanders, as you mentioned, in Calgary on Friday. The 3rd of a 7-game road trip for New York.
Microphone slider 35%.
Letty about to pass to Franz Nielsen. Scrimmage gets his first touch. He'll push it to the corner. Ryan Strome to Lee. Lee could not get the shot away. Travis Hamonic and Calvin DeHaan. And DeHaan is able to keep the puck in. The Islanders will have to clear the zone.
Remember in Colorado, Ben Scrimmage was very active on moving the puck and playing the puck when Colorado insisted on dumping it in and getting it on the forecheck.
Nicky Nikitin sends that puck in. Derek Roy gets it to Schultz. His long shot handled by Halak. The rebound picked up by Travis Hamonic. Gave it away to Derek Roy almost. The puck got by him and it comes to DeHaan. Lee turned aside, and the Oilers start back, and this is Oscar Klefbom. Fraser shoots it in. Yakupov waiting for it on the near side. Anton Lander, his 2nd game since being called up, 3rd game this year. Kuhlman pass off the stick of Grabowski. Grabowski takes Schultz into the boards. Kuhlman tried to take it away from Klefbom. That did not work.
What you're seeing early is the Islanders really move off the puck well. They'll take off, stretch the D out of the neutral zone. You got to be very aware of that.
The Islanders are the 5th best road team in the National Hockey League. They come into this game 12-7-1 away from the Coliseum. There is Rob Klinkhammer, his first shift in an Oiler uniform. He's wearing number 12. He is on the line with Gordon and Hendricks. Out against the 4th line for the Islanders, which includes Martin and Clutterbuck. Those guys love to hit.
1 and 2 in the National Hockey League coming into this game as far as the amount of hits they've thrown.
Fane with a pass to Klinkhammer. 1-on-1 against Nick Letty. Klinkhammer taken to the boards by Letty. Martin comes in and gets the puck. He takes a hit from Hendricks.
Turned right away, Martin did, to find who hit him.
Zizekas ends the puck in deep. Both teams making quick line changes. The Oilers get their top line right back out there.
Oops.
Petrie gave it away to Tavares. Tavares then lost it to Petrie. Gets it back again. Under pressure from Nugent Hopkins, and Hall starts away with Eberle. Hall flips it in. He will chase it against DeHaan. Beats him to the puck. Hall sets up behind the net. Takes a hit from Travis Hamonic. Nugent Hopkins plays it back to Petrie. Petrie will give it to Ference. Ference right back to Jeff Petrie. Winds, fires a blast, and that one's deflected wide. Hall with the rebound, and Halak with the save. Blast, and that one's Petrie. Peeked wide. Hall with the rebound, and Halak with the save. Keys of the game are brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Edmonton
Oilers. Give them energy.
And basketball is an offside against
Celtic. I think the importance here for the Edmonton Oilers is a much better defensive play. You mentioned the Calgary Flames problems, 30th in the year last year, but the Edmonton Oilers were 27th, and this is a team that needs to be a much better defensive team. And Jim, I think Cam Talbot in goal for the Oilers has got to be a guy who gets off to a great start. It was not a good October, November for him last year, and he's going to have to be much more solid in the Oiler net.
By the end of November, these teams were 13th and 14th in the Western Conference. That can't happen again because
just takes a hit from Travis Hamonic. Nugent-Hopkins plays it back to
0%
Petrie.
release ball.
Petrie will give it to Ferentz. Ferentz right back to Jeff Petrie. Blinds, fires a blast, and that one's deflected wide. Hall with the rebound, and a lock with the save. Keys of the game are brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
For the Edmonton Oilers, it's more about being just a straight-ahead team. You be precise, don't be pretty. And that basically means shoot the puck, crash the net, get there, try to get rebounds. For Jack Capuano's team, this is nothing new for them. Get off to a good start. They are one of the best starting teams in the National Hockey League. And when they're able to get off to a good start, their record is very, very good. Although, like any other team in the National Hockey League, they've been known to give up a few of the leads. It's been very interesting to watch this Islander team. National Hockey League, they've been known to give up a few of the leads. It's been very interesting to watch this Islander team.
Roy wins the draw. Left bomb throws it toward the net, doesn't get through. Left bomb with the Pouliot, who scored in his first game back after missing 18 with that broken foot. We talked to him before the game. He said it wasn't a problem during the game. After the game, it was a little sore, but he has those guards on as well. He said they were not a problem. He is 100%. Left bomb takes a hit from Ryan Strome. Hammond retreats back into his own zone to Hahn. This is Strome. It's cut off there by Fraser. Fraser will give it to Lander. Anton Lander chips it in. Brock Nelson gets there first. Nail Yakupov turns back into his own zone. He'll give it to Petrie. Over to Ferentz. I watched Jeff Petrie before in the warm-up and also in the morning skate. The way he can fire the puck, we saw an example of that, and that's what Todd Nelson would like to see a lot more of. Because they've got the shot, they just got to use it.
I agree with you. I think that you can put Oscar Klefbom in that category as well. He can drill the puck. Andrew Ferentz had a heck of a goal in Calgary when he got all of it. But when you look at the guys, yeah, they've got good shots, but if you don't use them, you never know, and you're never going to create that opportunity to score goals. And one thing that Todd Nelson was talking about today was making sure that his guys understand they've got to put the puck on the net. His guys understand that one thing that Todd Nelson was talking about today was making sure. You coached against him once in the AHL when he was in Rockford. But what Rob Klinkhammer brings, and watching Rob as I have over the last number of years in the Phoenix Coyotes, he brings that. He brings speed. He's a big body. He's tenacious on the puck. He's a good forechecker, and he's not afraid to take the puck to the net.
He was traded from Arizona to Pittsburgh on December the 5th. And then Pittsburgh here to Edmonton on January the 2nd. Shot by Hendricks. Pad save by Halak as it comes back to Klefbom at the point. Hendricks turns another shot. And that one slides right through the blue paint. Gordon. Checked by Zizikas. Right in front of the Oiler bench. Martin pins Gordon into the boards. Alpozo retreats back into his own zone. Gene mentioned it off the top of the show. 26 victories for the Islanders. Their best start. Here's a giveaway for Hall. He gets pinned and knocked down by DeHaan. They are tied with Montreal with 8 goals of the season. But the Oilers have had good success. The last 5 games played here in Edmonton, the Oilers are 4-1 and on a 4-game winning streak here at Rexall. Alpozo, checked by Eberle, delivers to Tavares. John Tavares. Drop pass. Bailey out in front for Hamonic. He was down low, and the Oilers try and counter, but Alpozo able to keep it in. Kyle Alpozo centering pass. Nobody there. Tavares was in the corner. Petrie plays it off the boards. Former Oiler Lubomir Vishnevsky. He and Hickey on the blue line for the Islanders. Pouliot. Checked by Lee. Gets the puck to Petrie. Teddy Purcell. The captain Ferentz eases it down into New York territory where Lubomir Vishnevsky will pick it up. Vishnevsky played 107 games in an Oiler uniform. Klefbom off the end boards, right out in front it comes. Strome is there to clear it away. He'll get it to Lee. Franz Nielsen, his shot goes wide. Vishnevsky can't keep it in. Roy back the other way. Derek Roy. Pass picked off by Nielsen. And it's played to Vishnevsky. As both teams want to make changes, the Islanders looking for their first shot. And the Oilers have 3 so far. Kuhlman. Out of the reach of Nelson, who goes after it and then shoots that puck in. They outshot Calgary 24-23 in that game in Calgary on Friday. They have won 21 games when they have outshot the opposition. Kulemin surrounded. Here's Grabowski. Gets a shot away, a weak one. Hands on Lander from the corner. Checked by Boychuk shot into the corner. Grabowski will pick it up. He turns. Centers it for Nelson. This line keeping the puck in until Nikitin will backhand it out. Hit the stanchion as the Oilers are making a line change. Leddy brings it right back in. He fires a shot and Scrivens makes his first save.
There's putting some pressure on the Oilers now.
It's the first save. Martin can't keep it in. Dahan plays it to an open wing. Picked up there by Clutterbuck. He fires it around the boards. Clutterbuck 151 hits. Matt Martin, he's got a few more than that. He's got 170.
He's already hit 2 guys today, so
172.
He gets in on it.
Boyd Gordon. Schultz on the wing to Rob Klinkhammer. Gordon in there to help him out, but Opozo brings it back in. Kyle Opozo drop pass. Dinkus with a shot. Scrivens the save.
That's a good save for a hard shot.
Hall quickly back across the middle. Hall. Button hook. Nice pass. Nugent Hopkins shot goes wide. Sits at the back of the net. Klinkhammer gets it off the back of the cage. He'll get it to Hall in the corner. Outlet pass for Hamonic. Hamonic against Petrie. Petrie gives him a bump. Ferentz has got the puck. Tavares checks in. Petrie gets it again. He'll play it to Hall. Hall checked by Strome. Picked up by Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins with Petrie joining the rush. Petrie against Hickey. Petrie from the corner. Nugent Hopkins and Wisniewski also in there battling for the loose puck. It does come free. Franz Nielsen to Hickey. Nugent Hopkins ties Hickey up. The puck's still loose. Hall behind the net. Hall from the corner. Back up top it comes. Here's Fane with a shot. That gets deflected. A bouncer ends up behind the cage. Wisniewski's got it. Strome to the middle. Bailey. The pass to Franz Nielsen. That was in traffic. It was broken up by the combination of Fane and Pouliot. Pouliot avoids the hit from Strome. Gets it to Fane. Nikitin up the middle. Nikitin across the blue line. Nikitin throws it towards the net. That gets deflected. He doesn't make it through to Halak. Pouliot back to the point he comes. Schultz with a wrist shot. That one blocked. We have gone over 6 minutes without a whistle. Brock Nelson by himself. Can't get the shot through Klefbom. It's going to be a whistle. Our first in a while.
The team has done 26 wins in his first 38 games, all the way back to 1978-79 to match that 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. Unbelievable job that Jack Capuano and the Islanders have started off with.
And he's all slim and trim.
Yeah, cut out sugar. Now it's like, now you're fine.
Halak bomb. We're taking a break.
Scored.
I'm getting some oxygen. We'll be back.
Play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Natasha Holm of Fort McMurray, Alberta could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
Gene right here, 7:06 to go in the first period. Shots even at 4 apiece. Plenty of action. No whistles.
And only 8 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a few came for the Islanders in that last little stretch. But you can see the Oilers are thinking about it more. They are attempting a few more. And there were some block shots.
Herschel, Roy, and Poop. Won by Brock Nielsen. And that is Herschel, Roy, and Pouliot. Along with Schultz and Klefbom. Won by Brock Nielsen. And that is Kulemin who sends it down the... I'm not getting paid by the word, you know. Doesn't make it through.
11 minutes, 53 seconds. Of 11
back into his own zone to Grabowski.
0% vertical score.
And here comes Fraser. Pokes it in, and you'll go after it. With Lander and Yakupov. Hamonic to Kulemin. Kulemin to the middle it goes. Mikhail Grabowski one-on-one against Petrie. Grabowski can't get the shot away. Petrie prevented that. To Hahn with a shot. That doesn't make it through.
Two good defensive plays, one by Jeff Petrie with a stick and one by the body of Andrew Ferretz on his man.
Hamonic fires it around the boards. Puck is tucked in briefly there by Zizekas. Lander gains control and he'll play it to Petrie. Petrie bounced it off the boards, and that is going to be a whistle, our first in a while.
What the team has done. 26 wins in his first 38 games, all the way back to 1978-79.
A star in the National Hockey League with Ned going in, and you better get used to that. As you know, a star in the National Hockey League, you're going to get extra attention. You're going to get hit every time you touch the puck if they can catch you.
And a lot of times they won't be able to catch this guy. McDavid is one of the few players who can pick up speed when he gets the puck.
What the team has done, Jack. Match that 7-1-1 in the last 9 games. Unbelievable job that Jack Capuano and the Islanders have started off with.
And he's all slim and trim.
Yeah, cut out sugar in his life.
It's that easy, eh? He's just showing off.
He's no longer sweet. he's just a really good coach.
In fact, he has the second most wins in team history behind Al Arbor. Tavares with a shot, big rebound for Opozo. Tavares bouncing the puck off a stick as it comes back to Vishnowsky. Vishnowsky goes cross ice. Hickey with a wrist shot. Scrivens the save. Bailey turns. His shot is blocked. And the Oilers get it out. And here comes Klinkhammer. Rob Klinkhammer winds, fires a shot that missed the glove. That
0%
is going to be a whistle. Our first in a while.
What the team has done. 26 wins in his first 38 games, all the way back to 1978-79 to match that 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. 1978-79 to match that 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. Unbelievable job with Jack Capuano.
Petrie bounced it off the boards, and that is going to be a whistle. Our first in a while.
What the team has done. 26 wins in his first 38 games, all the way back to 1978-79 to match that 7.
Shot, big rebound. Scrivens the save. Bailey turns.
13 minutes
Feed for Bailey was cut off before it got to him. The top line for the Islanders will change. This is Jordan Eberle. Taken into the boards by Franz Nielsen. McKeaton in a race with Ryan Strome. McKeaton sends it around the boards. Eberle waiting for it. Can't get it out. Nielsen turns. His shot goes wide. Hall. Boychuk intercepted the pass intended for Nugent Hopkins, but Hall picks it up and he is flying. Taylor Hall stops inside the blue line. Gives it to Nugent Hopkins. Went off his skate and goes to Nick Leddy. Leddy with a pass to Anders Lee. He'll send it in.
I'm going to go. If you need me, I'll come back.
Feel free to jump in.
No, you're fine. You're doing good.
Here's Klefbom. I'm not getting paid by the word, you know. Halak behind the net. Almost gave it away. Kenny Purcell covering for Klefbom. And look at Halak. Off his
There you are, champ. Take a break.
We're taking here. Fort McMurray, Alberta.
Gene right here. 7:06 to go in the first period. Shots even at 4 apiece. Plenty of action. No whistle to go in the first period. Shots even at 4 apiece. Plenty of action. No whistles.
And only 8 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a few who came for the I think a few more. And that's a little stretch. And only 8 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a few who came for the Islanders in that last little stretch. But you can see the Oilers are thinking about it more. They are attempting a few more. And there were some block shots.
Purcell, Roy, and Pouliot, along with Schultz and Klefbom. Won by Brock Nielsen, and that is Kuhlman who sends it down the ice for Grabowski. And offside is the call.
Introducing Boston Pizza's halftime lunch. Get in, get out in no time. New halftime lunch at Boston Pizza.
Percent vertically scrolled.
Todd Nelson today, when we were talking about the team, not getting off to the start that they wanted, and they lose a lot of games, and they're losing games in shootouts. And how do you keep the energy up? And he said, it starts with us, starts with the coaching staff. He said, what's the alternative? You come to the rink all sour and grumpy. He said, but you got to come to the rink with energy. You got to come to the rink with a positive attitude, and that trickles down to the players.
Points in 5 games with him behind the bench as Roy's centering pass for Purcell goes off the stick of Grabowski and into the netting.
Swims after it and covers up.
Opozo coming off
in their head. Wants them.
the wall, just sort of stepping in, realizing he's got Matt Tolson planted in front.
One.
There's the draw. It comes down. Powell gets himself in an open area. Hangs onto the puck. Surveys the situation.
They're scoring from around the crease. For the great chance to talk about
wants
to shoot the puck more. It's got to be ingrained in their head. Wants them. He's been hammering them to shoot the puck, shoot the puck, shoot the puck. There's a couple things happen. One, you create traffic towards net. Two, you crash the net for the second and third opportunities. And if you're scoring in the National Hockey League, you're scoring from around the crease. But you can't get to the crease. You can't be in front. A lot of it has to do with the fact that you're trying to make an extra pass because you want to make sure. But the best play is the straight ahead, put it on the net play.
Hendricks, Gordon, and Klinkhammer, speaking of straight-ahead play, out there on the ice now, and this is Hendricks. He'll play it back to the point. Fain waiting for it. Fain throws it towards the net. It was picked off before it could get through. Good job by Nikitin, though, to keep it in. Klinkhammer runs into Matt Martin. Turnabout fair play for Mr. 173 hits. Ferentz to Petrie as the Oilers make a change, get their top line right back out there. Here comes Hall. Hall for Eberle. A bouncing puck taken by Opozo. Eberle took it away from him and got it to Hall. Hall from the corner.
1 hour 46 minutes 12.
Drop pass for Nugent Hopkins. The cycle starts here. Eberle.
0 minutes 2 seconds. 0 minutes 6 seconds.
Nugent Hopkins. Pass for Eberle. Eberle back to the point to Ferentz. Ferentz waits, gives it to Petrie. To the middle for Hall. Back to Petrie. Petrie down low for Eberle. Eberle centering pass. Bailey gets it to Opozo. They got the matchup they wanted defensively because they had Hickey and Wisniewski out there. Now they change. Hall stays out, fires a shot. You see Leddy and Boychuk on the ice. That's the matchup that Capuano wants against that top line. This is Nick Leddy across the blue line. He will fire it around the boards. You bring that winning attitude, Drew, when you've got Boychuk and Leddy together.
Stanley Cup pairing. Leddy, of course, with the Chicago Blackhawks in 2013, and Johnny Boychuk with the Boston Bruins in 2011. Those are two guys who are outstanding.
Action contains style. 6 NHL October.
Some people call them blue guys, but they're just great team guys. Know what it takes to win. Know what it takes to be a championship team.
Ferentz, of course, knows all about Johnny Boychuk. It was his deep part of this year.
He said Johnny Boychuk brings a fantastic attitude, comes to the rink every day trying to get
hard there. It looks like Ben with two guys competing hard for a
Schultz. 4.5 minutes to go in the first period. We put in for Johansson. Around Roy, checked by Grabowski. Herschel going after it. Calvin DeHaan gets there first and around the boards. TJ Oshie has to it's spun around there as he has the puck. All kinds of other negative touch. Backstrom on to leave it there for DeHaan. The Islanders will be in Vancouver. Oilers go all the way across the country to play New Jersey, not the country, the continent, to play New Jersey on Friday. And we'll take a break. Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
It's a little bit more that you might want to see when it comes to Rob Klinkhammer's hockey career. He has, not by choice, been around. When you add it up, he's played for 4 junior teams, 3 American Hockey League teams, 1 game for Chicago, 15 Ottawa, 113 in all for the Phoenix, Arizona organization. So he hopes to be here for a while. Drew and Kevin.
Absolutely, Gene. He was talking about his stuff going from Arizona to Pittsburgh as Kuhlman's shot is stopped. Nikitin got in the way of that. Nikolai Kuhlman by Grabowski and a good save by Ben Scrivens.
During that 1,218
saving you more on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
But Klinkhammer, just saying quickly that his stuff was going from Arizona to Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden it's like, now I got to send it somewhere else.
But I love the story of Rob Klinkhammer because it's never given up. There's different paths to your dream. It's never saying, you know what, I've had it. Make them rip the jersey off your back. I think it's a great story of dedication, perseverance, and just wanting to puff your back. I think it's a great, never given up on it. Perseverance and just wanting to play in the National Hockey League and never giving up on it.
20 minutes, 41 seconds of 1 hour,
in the league this year. Scrivens battling in front against the fourth line with Martin and Clutterbuck crowding the crease. This is Martin behind the net. Martin spinning to get free. Checked by Klefbom. Gordon comes back defensively. He will give it to Klefbom, who will start the rush for the Oilers. Long pass intended for Hendricks. Lost an edge as he tipped it in. Halak has Klingheimer right on top of it. A chance for Hendricks. He scores. Robbie Long comes back defensively. He will give it to Klefbom, who will start the rush for the Oilers. Long pass intended for Hendricks. Lost an edge as he tipped it in. Halak has Klingheimer right on top of it. A chance for Hendricks. Will give it to Klefbom, who will start the rush for the Oilers. Long pass intended for Hendricks. Lost an edge as he tipped it in. Halak has Klingheimer right on intended for Hendricks. He will give it to Klefbom, who will start the rush for the check of the so turns, lets a shot go. Scrivens the save. The puck still sitting that way. Vishnowsky to Hickey. Thomas Hickey keeps it in as the Islanders look to tie things up. Opozo from the corner gets tripped up, and the Islanders will get a power play as Josh Bailey hit the deck. Thomas Hickey keeps it in as the Islanders look to tie things up. Opozo from is the gets tripped up, and the Islanders will get a Opozo play. Just have a 1-0. Gets tripped up, tie things up. Opozo from the corner gets tripped up, and the Islanders will get a power play as Josh Bailey hit the deck. As the Oilers have a 1-0 lead.
Sign of a good team is to get after the other team after they've scored. And this is what the Islanders did. They had a couple of chances, and then they just worked and then drew a penalty to get some momentum back. After this, the goal scored by the Edmonton Oilers. Excellent effort by Matt Hendricks. Good job getting in on the Halak by Rob Klingheimer. His first point as an Edmonton Oiler, and Matt Hendricks' fourth goal. Get in, strip the man, and then finish it off with your Matt Hendricks. A little bit of a scramble in front. Matt Hendricks, again, another guy who maxes out each and every shift.
The Oilers have now scored first 6 of their last 9 games, and they go to work against a power play that is Davis of 1 times in their 9 games, and they go to work against a power play that has scored 5 times in their last 3 games.
Scary good how good they've been clicking on that power play.
Our next score and win winner, courtesy of Safeway and Heinz Beans and Pasta, is Hillary Davis of Whitecourt, who has won the Lagostina 10-piece cookware set on that goal by Matt Hendricks. Leddy and Boychuk on the point. Tavares down low. Opozo looking in front for Nelson. A scramble, and Pouliot along with Gordon up front on the penalty kill. Can't get it by Nick Leddy. Tavares behind the net. Feeds it right out in front. It got by Brock Nelson. Kept in by Johnny Boychuk. Opozo against Fane. Leddy pokes at it, but there is Gordon to send it down the ice.
5-on-4 or 5-on-5. The Islanders make you play close to your
Number 97.
Power play that is still, even with their recent success, only ranked 18th on the road. And that puck is brought in offside.
It's been on
15. Nielsen.
They don't jokingly said, "You've been already." He goes, "I don't."
Cowboys.
Yeah, without a doubt.
54 seconds left to go in the penalty to Taylor Hall. Nielsen to Strome. With less than a minute to go in the first period. Rabowski checked by Jeff Petrie. Franz Nielsen gets it to Lubomir Vishnowsky. Over to Strome. Strome walks his way in. Now fires a shot that hit his teammate Anders Lee. Vishnowsky to Nielsen. Nielsen shot. That's blocked by Jeff Petrie. Hendricks.
Who has had a very good first period, Jeff Petrie.
Strome on the near side. 34 seconds to go in the period. Nielsen back to Vishnowsky. Vishnowsky will give it to Strome. Wines sets a shot. Rebound for Lee. Covered up by Scrivens.
6'2", 225-pound Anders Lee in front of Ben Scrivens. It's hard to find the puck past that man. You've got to be active. Watch Ben Scrivens as he's looking for the puck. Continues to stand. Look for the puck. Follows it. Leaning to one side of Ben Scrivens. It's hard to find the puck past that man. You've got to be active. Watch Ben Scrivens as he's looking for the puck. Continues to stand. Look for the puck. Follows it. Leaning to one side. Puck comes to the other side with Anders Lee standing there. Good save by Ben Scrivens. Tougher than it looked. It's hard to find the puck past that man. You've got to be active. Watch Ben Scrivens as he's looking for the puck. Continues to stand. Look for the puck. Follows it. Leaning to one side. Puck comes to the other side with Anders Lee standing there. Good save by Ben Scrivens. Tougher than it looked.
Pouliot Sends it down the ice. 7 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Pouliot going after it against Johnny Boychuk. Nick Leddy quickly to Opozo. The penalty is over. Hall is out of the box. The Islanders generate one shot on that power play. And the first period is now over. Edmonton Oilers. And it is Rob Klinkhammer who gets his first assist in his first game. And the Oilers have a 1-0 lead, David Amber. Thank you, Gene. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Warney Parsons Cord. Visit WarneyParsonsCord.com to find your place on our construction team.
Matt Hendricks, fourth of the year from Rod Klinkhammer, first point as an Edmonton Oiler on the forecheck. Fourth of the year from Rod Klinkhammer, first point as an Edmonton Oiler.
It's in 21
right after that goal was scored.
Rob Klinkhammer played 4 minutes.
Punch on Ben Scrimmage right after that goal was scored.
First period. Benoit Pouliot, his second game after missing time with a broken foot, played just over 5 minutes. Other than the fact they were outshot, they get the goal. Drew, how did you think the Oilers did in their first home game of 2015 so far in this first period?
I think that Mark and Louis were talking about it, and I think they're right on the money, is that they did do things very simple, precise, put the puck deep, and went to the net.
Here's Everly right off the hop, but he scores!
Mark and Louis put the puck deep and went to the net.
Here's Everly.
They did do things very simple, precise. We were talking about it, and I think they're right on the money, is that they did do things.
Rivens covers up. Opozo's right on him.
It couldn't come.
You know your business. We know how to protect it. Inside Insurance, specializing in the oil and gas and construction industries. InsideInsurance.ca.
Desperately needs more goals. It couldn't come at a better time for a guy who desperately needs more goals. These guys come to the rink. Well, everybody comes to the rink going to score, but these guys know the pressure's on them. Top line does. Nice pass, but it was great finish by Jordan Everly. He didn't take very long to get the puck on the net. Kind of caught Halak moving out at him. Beat him with a good shot.
Jordan Everly's first career.
That puck was gloved to him.
Rivens covers up. Opozo's right on him.
0% critical score.
There's Matthew Tkachuk, and he has, as I said, been very forceful in showing Flames coaches and management that he deserves to stay in the National Hockey League. He is a rough and tumble kid. I wonder where he got that from.
0% critical
You know
score.
what? All of a sudden, Arizona is becoming a hotbed for producing high-end hockey players.
It's been over 24 years since his dad, Keith, played his first game at that big league. He is a rough and tumble kid. I wonder where he got that from.
You know what? All of a sudden, Arizona is becoming a hotbed for producing high-end hockey players. And Barrett's get the assist.
117.
Here as Jordan Everly, his 8th goal of the year, his 6th goal of the season here at Rexall. Scrivens covers up. Opozo's right on him.
870.
I would never show my team. No, never smart. And it forces you into this submission of silence because you don't think that anybody's
Everybody comes to going to score.
1-on-3, over to the players. A lot of them new on the Oilers and the Calgary players. Calgary had the worst goals against average in the NHL last season, so both goaltenders are over to the players. A lot of them new on the Oilers and the Calgary players. Calgary had the worst goals against average in the NHL last season, so both goaltenders are brand new. 31-year-old Brian Elliott is the starter. He's backed up by Chad Johnson. Cam Talbot got
beat him with a good shot.
Jordan Everly's first career goal against the New York Islanders in just his 4th game. Well, by shopping at Safeway, Buffy Henson of Millet has won the Boulevard Marine Star watch, courtesy of Safeway and Heinz Beans and Pasta, and the guy that wears number 14, Jordan Everly.
You don't see many Buffys out there.
Other than the Vampire Slayers.
That's true.
Travis Hamonic is headed to the Islander dressing room. We'll try and Travis Hamonic is headed to the Islander dressing room. We'll try and get an update on his condition. Thomas Hickey. Safe Park Islanders.
Shot.
Jordan Everly's first career goal against the New York Islanders.
another touch.
It's his goal of the season.
Another turnover.
Tyler
Pitlick takes advantage.
Well, by shutting it Safeway, Buffy takes it of Miller when the Boulder Marine Star watch. Courtesy of Safeway and Heinz Beans and Pasta and the guy that wears number 14, Jordan Everly.
Is better. This is a simple play where you're
Other
looking
than the
for pass all the way. Instead of making the pass, the quick release gets under the arm of Elliott. For Elliott, a disappointing start. This one goes right underneath the overplay to the outside, and it found room underneath the elbow.
Tyler Pitlick's been a 5-year pro.
Just about every quick release gets under the arm of Elliott. For Elliott, a disappointing start. This one goes right underneath. He overplayed it to the outside, and it found room underneath the elbow.
Tyler Pitlick's been a 5-year pro, and just about every time he gets close to being a regular, he's been hurt. And he's in this opening night lineup, gets a goal.
Don't you think it's because of injury that he's in as well and takes the start? This one goes right underneath. He overplayed it to the outside, and it found room underneath the elbow.
Tyler Pitlick's been a 5-year pro, and just about every
one release gets under the arm of Elliott. For Elliott, a disappointing start. This one goes right underneath. He overplayed it to the outside, and it found room. Start. This one goes right underneath. He overplayed it to the outside.
The off-ice official.
It's interesting after the first goal. You saw
Look here, watch for Brian Johnson, 12 in front of the net. It's still, like you said, the crossbar deceived. Other than the Vampire Slayer.
Doesn't matter how tall the player is.
No, the stick is
Relative to the crossbar.
sometimes it's kind of deceiving to see how high the stick possibly is, because you judge it on the player where it is on his body sometimes.
0% vertical score.
And the guy that wears number 14, Jordan Everly.
Still not made a final determination here.
I'm not even sure. See, the Johan Larsson stick came in through there too. Did he touch it before Brian Giunta touched it? Or even did Brian Giunta even touch it?
Giunta was the first to celebrate, but I mean, that could be because he saw it go into the net first.
You're right. But if you watch this, the one view we have, right there, it does touch Brian Giunta the second time. Right there, you don't see the stick above the crossbar, and Brian Giunta even jumps up a little bit.
0% vertical score.
To the goal.
YouTube video players with pause keyboard shortcut
3-2 Buffalo, or is it 4-2 Buffalo?
0% vertical score. Play keyboard, pause keyboard shortcut K button. 817.
And after the game tonight, meet the Flames at the Saddle Dome on Tuesday night.
0% vertical score.
A lot of talking going on. Probably with this one.
There was goaltender interference. Therefore, there was no goal.
817. 800. Pause keyboard shortcut. 800.
Wrestling with it. So the penalty has already determined that there was no high stick, so it's a goal, at least to that point. The only thing that should eliminate that would be the goaltender interference call against Buffalo.
Overhead view. Talbot. There's Brian Giunta. He's not in the crease. Talbot comes across and he just sort of looks like he extends his right arm that has the stick in it and tries to push Brian Giunta away a little bit, but there's no contact there. Brian Giunta and Talbot.
No, and Giunta did not move Talbot at all. Cam Talbot was going in that direction.
I would expect the Edmonton Oilers are going to lose this challenge in turn, lose their timeout on the way. Sabres going to be awarded here to take another quick.
800.
Up into the netting.
70 volume graphic.
Under dressing room. We'll try and get an update on his condition. Headed to the Islander dressing room. There's no contact whatsoever right there. Other than contact, Talbot puts his right arm with his stick. Headed to the Islander Empire's dressing room.
0% vertical score.
That's all in the effort.
His head.
800.
Deflects up into the netting.
It was interesting after the first goal. You saw the New York Islanders really come back and put some pressure on the Oilers. Had a couple of chances and drew a power play on a Taylor Hall tripping penalty. Now they got the face-off back down against Ben Scrivens again.
And they
New York Islanders really come back and put some pressure on the Oilers. Had a couple of chances and drew a power play on a Taylor Hall tripping penalty. Now they got the face-off back down against Ben Scrivens again.
The draw, there's Strome with a shot. Roy gets kicked out of the circle. Pouliot lost the handle. Strome, sharp angle shot that misses. Comes all the way back to Thomas Hickey. Hickey leaves it there for Franz Nielsen. Nice pass to Hickey. Hickey can't get the shot away though. Gets the puck back. Back to Nielsen at the point. He will give it to Wisniewski. Hammers a shot and that gets deflected by Lee just wide. Scrivens covers up. Opozo is right on him in 1 minute.
And it's a good opportunity here for the Sabres just to maybe slow it down a little bit. I think Robin Leonard does a nice job
0% release goal.
getting this puck and then waiting for the whistle instead of trying to keep the play going a little bit. You don't want to allow Edmonton, especially after making this goaltender change, to gain any type of momentum by a big shift down low or anything like that. Just slow it down to a snail's pace. You got 2-goal lead right now. You're halfway through this hockey game. Try to continue to frustrate them as much as possible.
29 minutes.
Oilers managed to win the draw. McDavid fired one.
4 seconds.
Check. He goes around behind the net. Picked up there by Georges. He didn't get it out.
Puck protection by is thinking 1.
35 minutes. Current value 2001. Pause keyboard shortcut game. Play keep. 35 minutes. 4 seconds of 1 out. 35.
And the lead is down a chair. I talked about the shot of Johnny Boychuk. You saw it there. He's got 4 goals on the season. And the lead is down at 2-1. He's got 4 goals on the season. And the lead is down at 2-1. Mr. Got 4 goals on the season. And the lead is down at 2-1.
Mr. Heck of a shot. That's a big bomb. The puck protection by Tavares. And then just a D-to-D pass. And you got the opportunity. What have we been talking about all night from the Edmonton Oilers side? Shoot the puck. Well, right here, Lenny and Johnny Boychuk is thinking one thing and one thing only. I'm going to drill it. But look at the traffic in front. Really nicely done. Was that Brock Nelson? That was Brock Nelson in front. I think he just got in the eyes of Ben Scrivens just at the right time. Kind of slid through the visual path of Ben Scrivens. And that was one of the other reasons that puck went in. But it was a bomb. For Ben Scrivens just at the right time. Kind of slid through the visual path of Ben Scrivens. That was one of the other reasons that puck went in. But it was a bomb.
4 goals for Boychuk on the season. All of them have come on the power play. And the Islanders now have 6 power play goals in their last 4 games. Tavares and Leddy get the assists. For Leddy, now 3 points in his last 5 games. John Tavares has 35 points on the season. 8 of them have come in the last 7. Scrivens gives it to Schultz. 13-9. The shots favor the Islanders. Clefbaum. Pass intended for Purcell was broken up by DeHaan. Scrivens leaves it there for Schultz. Here comes Clefbaum. Pass to Gordon. Chips it in.
52 minutes, 54 seconds, 1 hour, 30.
Into the netting.
Ride the first side-by-side with a factory-installed turbocharger and leave others in the dust. The Can-Am Maverick XDS from Martin Motorsports.
33 minutes, 8 seconds of 1 hour, 34 minutes, 53 seconds.
Now, Callan DeHaan makes a key block right here, and this is not unusual for DeHaan coming into the game. He had 74 blocks, one of the top guys on the team, one of the top guys in the league.
And they are one of the top 10 teams when it comes to block shots. Came in ranked 6th. Everly. Top
makes a key block right here, and this is not unusual for DeHaan coming into the game. He had 74 blocks, one of the top guys on the team, one of the top guys in the league.
And they are one of the top 10 teams when it comes to block shots. Came in ranked 6th. Everly trying to get around. He does and slides it just wide. Everly coming close to his 2nd straight goal of this period.
Looking to Andrew Ference. That was what's a tough one there for Andrew Ference. He just could not get the body back in position, and
817.
The way the skating was happening, that he was cooking.
It's all to Lincoln.
32 minutes, 42 minutes, 47 seconds. 32 minutes, 48 seconds. 32 minutes, 49 seconds. 1 hour, 34 minutes.
There's a blast. There is a glove save by Yaroslav Halak.
We saw Travis having go off the ice.
Scored a goal here tonight. His NHL career.
Looking at
He's
his
just got his 400
final game last year. Look at the
games.
people on.
And that 400
Hickey,
points
Mayfield,
consists of
Donovan,
160 goals and 240.
What a big change. Want to talk about why the Islanders had such a big turnover? Look at the guys now with Vishnowsky, Leddy, Boychuk, Hamonic, Hickey. That is a solid
O'Reilly coming out with
people on.
Hamonic
go off.
It is a glove save.
Looking at his skating going off. Final game last year. Look at the people on. Hamonic, Hickey, Mayfield, Donovan.
Consists of 160 goals and 240 assists.
Current value 34 minutes. 36 minutes, 18 seconds of 1 hour. 36 minutes, 38 seconds of 1 hour, 34 minutes, 53.
O'Reilly
He's trying to get a shot away. Instead, back to the point. There's a quick blast off the stick of Nicky Nikitin. And Nikitin might be trying to shoot a little bit more as well. We are seeing him playing a little bit better as the back of his seems to have healed up. Gordon protects the puck, and the puck hit the side of the net. Zekas and Henriks do a little grappling. Martin comes in and pulls Hendricks back, but nothing comes of it.
One of the things that Todd Nelson talked about was closer, quicker support. And this is not what you want right here. As the play gets set up behind the net, now you'd like to move as quickly as you can, so it's going to go back behind the net. Now there's nobody around. That's a long pass. You want to have a little bit quicker support. You want to come back to the puck. You want to be able to make sure those 10-foot passes. Todd Nelson talked about today that one of the best lessons he got, he watched Nick Lidstrom in training camp, and he thought, I'm going to see all this great plays, all this wonderment, and you see from Nick Lidstrom, and it wasn't. It was get a good 10-foot pass, execute it, and do it again and again and again, and then when the opportunity came to jump up on the play.
Travis Hamonic left the game. He is back on the bench now for the Islanders as Grabowski brings it across the line. Button hooks, looks for Hickey. Hickey moves in, takes a shot, and Scrivens makes the save.
Robert makes the save. Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
38 minutes, 21. Current value 2,301.
In the first period, when the shots were going on Ben Scrivens, it looked like the puck was kind of surprising him a couple of times. Wasn't able to handle the rebounds. That last shot, right on top of it, no rebound, nothing. Very soft into the middle of Ben Scrivens.
13 saves so far for Ben Scrivens. Hickey right up the middle for Kuhlman. Kuhlman lost an edge. Lander comes back defensively. Nice move by Yakupov. Yakupov down the right side, stops up. Nail Yakupov drops it back. At the end of the shift for Matt Fraser as the top line is on the ice now. DeHaan lost it to Hall. Bouncing puck to Boychuk. Winds, fires a blast, and he scores. The guys talked about the shot of Johnny Boychuk. You saw it there. He's got 4 goals on the season. And the lead is down to 2-1.
Mr. and Mrs. Boychuk in the stands. Pretty happy for their son, Johnny.
800.
Heck of a shot. That's a big opportunity. What have we been talking about all night from the Edmonton Oilers side? Shoot the puck. We're right here. Leddy and Johnny Boychuk is thinking one thing and one thing only. I'm going to drill it. But look at the traffic in front. Really nicely done. Was that Brock Nelson? That was Brock Nelson in front, I think. He just got in the eyes of Ben Scrivens just at the right time. Kind of slid through the visual path of Ben Scrivens. That was one of the other reasons that puck went in, but it was a bomb.
4 goals for Boychuk on the season. All of them have come on the power play. And the Islanders now have 6 power play goals in their last 4 games. Tavares and Leddy get the assists. Drops it back.
Cross keyboard shortcut.
At the end of the
39 minutes, 39 minutes, 50. 40 minutes, 1 second. 40 minutes, 2 seconds.
Keeps it in for Eberle. Eberle to Hall. Hamonic lost an edge, but here is Nelson. Nelson moving in with Oposo, fires a shot, and there is Scrivens making the save. Nugent Hopkins back the other way. Across the blue line, drop pass for Hall. Hall looking for Eberle, broken up there by Leddy, and back the other way we go. It's Tavares. Tavares with Oposo and Bailey. Tavares checked by Petrie. Tavares spins to get away from Eberle, drops it back to Leddy at the point, snaps a shot. He hit his teammate Oposo, who swoops it towards the net. And there is Scrivens making the save. So Oposo got the shot away, even though he had been hit by Leddy's shot, and he is in pain over at the bench. Nick Leddy owes him an apology.
Yes, sir. But still tough enough
Yeah.
to take that shot, turn and find it, and get another opportunity on net. Meanwhile, Taylor Hall goes in, and he's got an opportunity to shoot the puck and doesn't shoot the puck. Oposo's in front. Hits him hard, but he still wheels, finds it, gets on net. That's a hockey player.
Oposo leads.
Get another opportunity on net. Meanwhile, Taylor Hall goes in, and he's got an opportunity to shoot the puck and doesn't shoot the puck. Oposo's in front. Hits him hard, but he still wheels, finds it, gets on net. That's a hockey player.
Oposo leads the team in. Nick Leddy owes him an apology.
Yes, sir. But still.
Razor's Edge, brought to you by Losi and Ganji. Workers compensate for
Takes time, an excellent job defensively, keeping the play in front of him, allowing him to take their time, come back into the zone, but kept that good time and space. They let it go for 2 minutes. It cost them on the first one. They started to panic. They gave up the second one. But here in the second period, they started doing a nice job once again, closing that gap, not giving a ton of room for the offensive players of the Edmonton to gain any momentum coming through the offensive zone.
the 244s are yapping at one another. Delorier and Cassian as the puck is dropped. Right after
The game against Got line throws it toward him in the rib. Ryan Strome will take his spot on that line for now. He clears it to an open wing. Nick Leddy catches up to it. Leddy across the blue line. Leddy drops it back. Here's Strome working his way in. Can't get the shot. And it's Purcell. And Pouliot. Purcell takes a hit from Boychuk. Gets it to Benoit Pouliot. Pouliot given a bump by Boychuk. Just out of the reach of Bailey.
Boychuk played that really well. The other guy that was helping him out was Nick Leddy, who started the attack in the offensive zone.
Offside at the Islanders line. And the Edmonton kid, Johnny Boychuk, with that big shot.
Continue the theme. If Travis Hamonic will just slide over a little bit, is he nice enough to give us a nice clear shot of Johnny Boychuk, who is just behind his right shoulder. Everybody in the way trying to get a clear shot of Johnny Boychuk. But here's a clear shot of Johnny Boychuk on his way up in the world of hockey. 99-2000, the Maple Leaf Athletic Club that Mark Spector spoke about in the first intermission. There he is, a spot shadow, 15-year-old when he started the season, 16-year-old when he finished it, for his mom and dad, who yesterday had a birthday party for Johnny's 1-year-old twins. And thanks to that goal for the Isles. Anyways, Boychuk is Johnny on this spot.
With Andrew Ference, as you mentioned, he was partnered up in Boston. Andrew Ference just kept talking today about his Johnny Boychuk's infectious, positive effect when he comes to the ring. Just love to play.
Averaging about 22 minutes with the Islanders so far this season. Nikitin fires it in. We've got under 12 minutes to go in the second period. 2 goals in 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
5 minutes.
At the start of the period. And it's a 2-1 lead for the Oilers. Goals by Hendricks. Sorry, Hendricks and Eberle. There you go. Get out of the way, Kevin. Just get out of the way.
I'm sorry, I threw you out there because I was pointing and looking at the monitor, but very fortunate on that play, the last one to rush up the ice, that it was offside, because he beat you.
Get motivated hockey like
another guy who didn't really want to come to trade Kozlowski,
leading the Metropolitan Division and tied with Montreal for most wins. DeHaan takes a hit from Klinkhammer, who comes up with a puck. Hendricks is in front, battling with DeHaan as he comes back to Petrie. Petrie towards the net. Hendricks again in the eyes of Jaroslav Halak. Icing will be the call against the Islanders. DeHaan and Hendricks continue to jaw.
One of the things I always say is, are you making investments in your career? And this is just John Tavares, just at the start in the warm-up, just working on his hands, loosening up. I love watching guys do those little personal things because they are trying to get better every chance they're on the ice.
The other thing you usually say is Kevin on and in icing will be the Yaroslav Halak. Here is icing will be the call against the Islanders. And Hendricks continue to jog.
One of the things I always say is, are you making investments in your career? One of the things I always say is, are you making investments in your career? And this is just John Tavares, just at the start. Things I always say is, are you making investments in your career? And this is just John Tavares, just at the start in the warm-up, just working on his hands, loosening up. I love watching guys warm up, and this is just John Tavares, just at the start in the warm-up, just working on his hands, loosening up. I love watching guys do those little personal things because they are trying to get better every chance they're on the ice.
The other thing you usually say is, Kevin, can you pick up the check? Tavares. Lander coming back defensively. Bailey in traffic. Tavares finds the puck. They'll get it to Opozo, who's back on the ice after getting hit by a shot from Nick Leddy. Tavares still has it. Tavares tough to knock off the puck. He finally takes a shot, and Scrivens will cover up.
So you know why you do the stick handling drill?
There you go.
Man, that's fun to watch when you see you guys do that in a warm-up. And then in the game, watch this. Knock it down, get your hands rolling, be able to control it, the stick handling, controlling the puck. The other thing when you watch Tavares, he uses his body extremely well. He's very effective at using his body to protect the puck. But again, the hands, a fun thing to watch.
5-time 20-goal scorer. Well on his way with 17 so far this season. Matt Hendricks cutting for the net against Boychuk. Good battle there. Klefbom keeps it in for Klinkhammer. Lost it. Martin to Clutterbuck. David gains the line, shoots the puck in. Schultz ahead of Martin. Martin gives him a hit. Zeke is in there as well. Klefbom picks it up on the far side. Oscar Klefbom. Pass tipped in by Klinkhammer. They want to get a change in. I'll get the Derek Roy line out there now with Pouliot and Purcell. Hickey will give it to Vishnowsky. To Kuhlman. Kuhlman trying to split the defense. To Nelson. Pass intended for Grabowski. He never got his stick down. Roy prevented that. They keep coming. There's a shot by Nelson. Stop. Kuhlman behind the net. Checked by Nikitin. To the corner. Brock Nelson. Stopped by Teddy Purcell. Purcell, though, gave it away to Grabowski. The Oilers want to get this puck out, and finally they will, thanks to Benoit Pouliot. Derek Roy to Pouliot. Pouliot with Purcell going to the front. Here's Pouliot. He'll get it to Purcell. Purcell will give it right back to him. Pouliot gets around Hickey. Delivers to Roy behind the net. Derek Roy works his way to the corner. Right up top it comes to Purcell. He defers to Fane. Gets it back again. Puts it to the corner. There is Pouliot. Benoit Pouliot, drop pass for Fane, who was jumped up in the play. Without his stick was Nelson temporarily. Here is Petrie with a hard shot, and that was blocked. Pouliot on the near side. Behind the net for Derek Roy. Good shift for this line as Pouliot works it to Petrie. His backhand attempt is outside the blue line, and the Oilers will regroup, but that's the kind of shift you want from those guys. And now the top line comes on and tries to carry on. Nugent Hopkins, his shot is deflected into the glass. Eberle to Hall. Hall against Franz Nielsen. Nugent Hopkins back up top. Petrie lets the shot go. Blocked by Anders Lee. Ryan Strome will backhand or dump that puck down. Nugent Hopkins gets there first. Strome, sharp angle shot right through. Gahan lets it go, and he whistled that one high. Hamonic. A wrist shot. That hit Lee. Dropped his stick. He broke his stick. And Anders Lee goes to the bench. Josh Bailey jumps over the boards.
I think that break of the stick protected his face.
Wow. That puck is sitting in front of Ben Scrivens. Now it's picked up by the referee. That is twice Islander players have been hit by guys firing the puck on their own team. Nugent Hopkins, outlet pass for Hall. End of the shift for him. Klinkhammer going after it against Leddy. Takes him into the boards. Klinkhammer now against Hamonic. Connor McDavid. Tavares gave it away. Hendricks working hard in the corner. What else is new? Back to Fane at the point. Gordon down low against Leddy. Boyd Gordon comes out of the corner with the puck. He'll drop it right back there for Hendricks. Leaves it for Klinkhammer. Klinkhammer back to the point. Ferentz keeps it in. Hendricks takes a look to Klinkhammer behind the net. Opozo lost it to Gordon. Back to Ferentz. Waits, then lets it go off the stick of Opozo, who checked to see if it was broken. Klinkhammer. Hard pass for Ferentz. But zone time for the fourth line against the top line of the Islanders. You'll take that matchup and that every time.
Hard working shift.
Fans here at Rexall recognize that and give them a hand as they head off.
Rogers.
Fraser. To the middle it goes. Picked up there by Vishnowsky. Just over 6.5 minutes left to go in the period. Zizekas cutting for the net. Against Schultz. Button hook. Center it goes. Here's a backhand by Clutterbuck. That goes up and into the netting. Rogers Oilers hockey from Rexall Place, but it goes up and into the netting. Rogers Oilers hockey is proudly Rexall Place right here on Sportsnet.
Welcome back. The Goals for Kids program is proudly sponsored by Synovus. For every Oilers goal this season, Synovus will donate $400 to Kidsport. To date, the Oilers have scored 84 goals for a total of $33,600.
And two of those goals here tonight, one by Matt Hendricks, one by Jordan Eberle. And that fourth line, Drew, is back on the ice. Gordon, Hendricks, and Klinkhammer seem to be meshing well. Klinkhammer talked about playing with Gordon before, so that's got to help.
If there's ever a team that got a lot out of its fourth line, it was the Arizona Coyotes, and continues to be the Arizona Coyotes. They work.
Klinkhammer keeps it in. Gordon to the corner against Hickey. Martin gets dumped by Gordon. The puck's still alive. Zizekas in there trying to dig it free. Hickey's got it. He'll give it to Clutterbuck. Vishnowsky with it now. To the middle it goes for Martin. Martin cutting for the net. Drop pass for Hickey. Hickey with a shot. Kind of a knuckleball because it broke his stick and back the other way. Here comes Derek Roy with Teddy Purcell. They're all by themselves. Purcell, Roy. Oh, what a save by Tim. 2-on-0. 2-on-0. There's no shot. Fans buzzing here as the action went back and forth. Knuckleball because it broke his stick and back the other way. Here comes Derek Roy with Teddy Purcell. They're all by themselves. Purcell, Roy, Purcell. Oh, they can't win it home. A 2-on-0.
And there's no shot.
Two saves. Fans buzzing with it now. Pouliot back to the point. Nikitin will let the shot go, and that hit Matt Martin. Purcell. Pouliot will give it to Derek Roy. Roy works his way back to the blue line. Pouliot. Purcell wants to shoot. He'll give it to Fane instead. Nikitin. Now to Purcell. Back to Nikitin. His shot and a pad save by Halak.
Really good save.
Roy with it now. Derek Roy. Back to Fane. His shot goes wide. Nikitin pitching in. Nikitin back to the point. Purcell covering for him. Gives it to Fane. Fane back to Purcell. Over to Nikitin. Nikitin. Another shot. This time again blocked by Matt Martin. Martin's got to get off. He has blocked two hard shots from Nicky Nikitin.
A few guys on the Islanders that are going to have some ice bags.
Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, and Hall keeping the momentum going. Here's Hall with a shot, and that one deflects wide. Eberle gets it again.
Larson with the shot.
Lost it to Kuhlman. Grabowski can't get it by Ferentz. Hall's got it now. Nugent Hopkins from the corner. The Oilers all over the Islanders here with just over 4 minutes to go in the second period. Hall back to the point it comes. Ferentz pushes it over to Petrie, who's down low. Feeds it out in front right through the blue paint. Hall covering at the blue line. Gets it to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins down low for Eberle. Eberle checked by Kuhlman. Nugent Hopkins plays it back to the point. Here is Ferentz to Nugent Hopkins. He gets double teamed, but the Oilers keep possession. Eberle. Nugent Hopkins. Hamonic rips it around the boards, and it gets by Petrie, so no icing. And the Islanders finally get a change in. Petrie starts right back to Lander, to Hall, a wrist shot that gets deflected by Boychuk in behind the net. Comes to the near side, Tavares battling with Yakupov. Lander works it to Klefbom, slap pass for Hall. Great play by Hall to get it to Petrie, off the stick of Bailey. Petrie gets it again. Yakupov turns, Lander in front. Anton Lander back to the point. Klefbom over to Fane. Mark Fane. He is checked by Josh Bailey, but Hendricks carries on as the Oilers are making line changes, keeping the puck in the offensive zone. Tavares has lost his stick. Yakupov got a shot, tries to jam it home. Yakupov again gets knocked down by Hamonic. Lander from the corner, checked by Tavares. Tavares to Bailey, back to Tavares, outlet to Boychuk. But the top line has to change.
Exceptional effort so far, relentless effort. Line after line coming out and putting pressure on the Islanders.
And it all started with the fourth line. And a hooking penalty, the fourth,
coming out and putting pressure on the Islanders.
And it all started with the fourth line. And a hooking penalty is coming. Look at this 2-on-0. The Oilers, though, with Lee in the box, are going to come back in a power.
Welcome back. Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game is Heinz Beans and Pasta.
Oilers on the power play. Anders Lee gets a deuce for hooking. This is how it happened. Neutral zone, a lot of pressure being put on. The one-hand stick comes up, gets parallel to the ice and on the hands of the Oilers. Penalty.
The Oilers with 2 power play goals in their last 2 games. The game in Colorado, they were 1 for 3, and it was Benoit Pouliot that got the power play goal. They go to work for the first time in this game. Hall lost it to Hamonic, and Hamonic sends it down the ice. That will chase Justin Schultz back into his own zone. Franz Nielsen watching him. He and Cizikas are up front. Boychuk and Hickey. Nugent Hopkins gains the line, gets it to Hall. Hall sends it around the boards. Eberle waiting for it there. Boychuk fires it around the boards. The Islanders, for all their success, Drew, have not had much success when it comes to penalty killing. They are 27th in the league. Cizikas drops Scrivens, and another penalty coming up. 6 attackers out there for the Oilers. Puck will be touched by Brock Nelson. They'll have 56 seconds of 5-on-3.
Casey Cizikas was an explanation from the ref about what he's supposed to do here. He's coming in chasing now. He wants to take the shortest path to the puck. He wants to get back real quick into the defensive position. The forecheck. He wants to cut back through the crease. But Ben Scrivens, the crease belongs to the goalie. So that's why the referee called it. 2 minutes for goalie interference. There's not much Casey Cizikas can do there.
Contains style. 5 NHL October 18/2016.
All Nugent Hopkins,
contains style. 2 October
Eberle,
14/12.
Schultz, and Purcell
Contains
huddle
style.
up.
1 October 817 NHL.
Franz Nielsen against Nugent Hopkins.
He's coming in chasing now. He wants to take the shortest path to the puck. He wants to get back real quick into the defensive position. Forecheck. He wants to cut back through the
his mark in the National Hockey League. Bad timing there as Russell turned around with the reverse pass and Tkachuk didn't lay up in time. So the first penalty and an early opportunity for the Oilers to get this crowd back on their feet.
Power plays brought to you by
Ben Scrivens. The crease belongs to the goalie. So that's why the referee called it. 2 minutes for goalie interference. There's not much Casey Cizikas can do there.
They'll have 56.
0% vertically scored.
The penalty coming up. 6 attackers out there for the Oilers. Score a power play goal. Where is it? He scores!
3
goals for Drake Canoa! What a goal!
Another turnover. Tyler Pitlick takes advantage.
By Brock Nelson, they'll have
I'm going to get back real quick into the defensive position. What he's supposed to do here. He's coming in chasing now. He wants to take the shortest
transition game, and sometimes
to the puck.
Simpler is better.
He wants to get back real quick into the defensive position. Forecheck. He wants to cut back through the crease.
The quick release gets under the arm of
crease belongs to the goalie.
A disappointing start. This one goes right underneath. He overplayed it to the outside, and
he wants to cut back through the crease.
The elbow.
Tyler Pitlick's been a 5-year pro. Just about every time he gets close to being a regular, he's been hurt. And he's in this opening night lineup, gets a goal.
All Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, Schultz, and Purcell huddle up. Franz Nielsen against Nugent Hopkins. Oh, that puck gets sent up to one at the point. Up against Franz Nielsen, who's with Hamonic and DeHaan. This time the puck stays in play. Hall's got it. He'll play it back to Schultz. Schultz at the point, walks in, slap pass. Eberle to Hall. Hall down low for Eberle. Back to Hall, lets it go. A bouncing puck and runs it. Eberle put it just wide. Eberle. To Nugent Hopkins back to Schultz. Schultz moving in. High slot, lets it go. High bouncing puck. Comes right over the net. Hall to Eberle. Back to Hall. Hall to Schultz. They crisscross. Schultz to Hall. Lets it go. There's the save. Nugent Hopkins trying to get it home. Ryan Nugent Hopkins looking for his first power play goal of the season. Schultz, Hall. Another shot. Another save. Halak trying to cover it up. The puck did come loose, but the whistle blew.
Shooting on the power play. And chances, jamming the net, looking for that rebound opportunity. Setting Taylor Hall up, drills it. But when you look at this, and you've heard, Coach, this is what you start looking at. Okay? Why is Halak seeing everything? Why are my bodies beside the net? Why isn't there anybody in front? Why are we not crashing and getting in the, providing some ocular distraction for Yaroslav Halak?
Matt Fraser may do that. Here is Yakupov with a hard shot. Halak the save. Now 5-on-4 as Anders Lee is back on the ice. Roy, Lander, Fraser, Yakupov, and Petrie. This is Petrie. He'll go down low to Derek Roy. Derek Roy gives it back to him. Petrie winds, lets it go, and that was blocked by Lee. Knocked him down. And it's sent down the ice by Thomas Hickey. Resumes. The shots are even at 19 apiece for the Oilers. David Emmer will take a 2-1 lead into 19 apiece, but the Oilers, David Emmer will take a 2-1 lead into the final frame.
Welcome back. The Oilers hoping to pile up goals like the snow has piled up. Here, got a bit at the end, so it looks
star. Consistency over time, and he has proven year after year that he can deliver.
Getting better and better the more he experiences National Hockey League plays. In his 6th year, and so far his best start to a hockey season. I think that story about Winnipeg is really cool. It just shows you the guy gets it. He understands that he's got a little bit of a responsibility to the fans, and I think it's great when he does that for kids. That'll last forever for that young man.
The Oilers start the third period with the lead and some time on a power play. 30 seconds left to go in the penalty to the goalie interference call against Casey Zizekas. As we take a look at the scoring summary brought to you by Woolley Parsons Court. Visit WoolleyParsonsCourt.com to find your place on our construction team.
In the first period, it was Matt Hendricks from Rob Klinkhammer first point. Shots were 10-5 for the Islanders. Second period, 8 seconds in, Jordan Eberle right off the face-off, outstanding job. And then Johnny Boychuk, the Edmonton boy, with a power play goal that was a major league blast. Shots are down 19-19, Kevin. That tells me they're even.
It does. Nielsen wins that draw and plays it all the way back to Hamonic, who then fires it into Oiler territory. It's picked up by Schultz. Wheeling is Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Eberle. A bouncing puck comes outside the line. Chance for one last attempt and it's offside. Now 2 seconds left in the power play. So Jordan Eberle starts the period with a goal in 8 seconds. Taylor Hall says, oh yeah, last October on the island, I scored 2 goals in 8 seconds.
Really?
He did. And it was a 3-2 loss, but Taylor Hall, who has had 3 goals in 2 games last year, did it 8 seconds apart. Wow. Hall said last attempts, and it's offside. Now 2 seconds left in the power play. Yep. So Jordan Eberle starts the period with a goal in 8 seconds. Taylor Hall. So Jordan Eberle starts the period with a goal in 8 seconds. Taylor Hall says, oh yeah, last October on the island, I scored 2 goals in 8 seconds.
Really?
He did. And it was a 3-2 loss, but Taylor Hall, who has had 3 goals in 2 games last year, did it 8 seconds.
Really?
He did. And it was a 3-2 loss, but Taylor Hall, who has had 3 goals in 2 games last year, did it 8 seconds apart.
He scored 2 goals in 8 seconds.
He did it. You didn't have to ask him.
I'm good. I bet you shot the puck.
Hendricks with it now. Slows it down. Hammond takes a hit there from Klinkhammer. Zekas out of the penalty box. Will give it to Taha. Calvin Taha gives it right back to Zekas. Zekas against Fane. Bumped off the puck. Gordon there. He gets knocked down by Matt Martin. Martin had only 2 hits through 40 minutes. It was Cal Clutterbuck who was the hitting machine. He had 7 through 2 periods. Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Eberle back to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins pushes it past Halak. Eberle comes up with it. Nugent Hopkins has got it again. In traffic, Tavares takes it away. He's got Nugent Hopkins all over him. The puck squirts free. And it's picked up by Nick Leddy. Leddy gets around Eberle. Shoots it in. Scriven slows it down. Petrie starts away. Yeah, Petrie. Hickey back into his own zone. We'll give it to Nick Leddy. Comes right back to Thomas Hickey. To the middle, Tavares. Tavares stopped by Petrie.
Again with the stick. Great stick by Jeff Petrie.
Hall plays it back to Klefbom. Oscar Klefbom, the most ice for any Oiler, played over 15 minutes the first 2 periods. As Todd Nelson begins to trust the young Swede more and more each game.
Be a lot, or have a lot to do with the fact that Todd had him in Oklahoma and helped and watched his progression as well. And I think that's got to be a lot to do with the fact.
Here's Derek Roy upstairs and the turnover.
Be a lot.
The young Swede more and more each game.
Be a lot, or have a lot to do with the fact that Todd had him in Oklahoma and helped and watched his progression as well. And I think that's got to be a lot to do with the fact.
Here's Derek.
I watched his progression as well. And I think that's got to be a lot to do with the fact.
Here's Derek. Can't lose the first goal of the season. Boy, now we left block. Retreats back. He's got Brock Nelson watching him. Left block. Pass intended for Anton Lander. Hammond picked that off. Brock Nelson will bring it in. He's got Kuhlman with a shot, and that is blocked by Klefbom. Here's Leddy with a shot. Broke his stick. Wraparound attempt. Pad save by Ben Scrivens. Took it away from Kuhlman.
That's a really good save.
Grabowski. Drop pass for Brock Nelson. He lost it. They overskate it.
0% rookie score.
Brock Lander and Ben. He missed 4 games. Here is again the big shot of Boychuk. He missed the net. It comes all the way back down to Yaroslav Halak. Boychuk has the only goal for the Islanders. It was a power play marker in the second period. Opozo trying to get around Petrie. Cuts for the net. Slides it through the blue paint. Boychuk drops it back for Bailey. Here is Opozo. His shot stopped by Scrivens. Rebound picked up by Josh Bailey. He enters it out in front for Opozo. Back to Lenny. He'll let it go. And it's stopped by Petrie. And Petrie sends it down the ice. And it'll...
Right now must be guys now that he brought in, be it back
Matt Fraser
Matt
got a
Fraser
point.
scored. You've got guys now that he brought in that are making a contribution immediately. There's some bigger bodies, veteran guys that are helping bring more energy to this team.
Anders Lee tied up there by Nikitin. Pouliot in to help out as well. Lee gets dumped. Nikitin's got the puck, and he'll flip it out of danger and down the ice. And he's also got to be happy with the way Todd Nelson has got this team playing an up-tempo game.
Yes. Well, that's the other change he made, right? It's Todd Nelson.
Wisniewski with a hard shot. Scriven's got a piece of that, but he got hit by his own man, Mark Payne. He went down and shakes his head, but gets right back up again. Strome, well, backhanded in. The Islanders want to make a change. That'll give Scrivens a little break to get the cobwebs out. Payne will give it to Nikitin. Nikitin up the middle for Derek Roy. Tips it in. Hendricks going after it as the fourth line is on the ice right now. Clutterbuck. Zizekas. Calvin DeHaan across the blue line. Chips it in. He'll chase it himself. Scrivens out of the net. Clutterbuck trying to center it. Gordon finds it. Sends it around the boards, and Rob Klinkhammer starts down the ice. Flips it off the glass. Hendricks giving chase. DeHaan got there first. Hamonic. Zizekas. Weak backhand. Line change for the Islanders. Same for the Oilers. As Fraser, Lander, and Yakupov are on the ice right now. And this is Nail Yakupov with the puck. Skates away from Brock Nelson. Gets by Grabowski. He gets stopped, though, and Grabowski starts back the other way. A pass intercepted by Nikitin. Yakupov against Boychuk. Boychuk sends it around the boards. Petrie will pick it back up in his own zone. 13:40 left to go in regulation time. Shots favor the Islanders 23-20, but the Oilers lead 3-1. Boychuk takes a hit from Anton Lander. The puck underneath Boychuk. Lander now plays it back to Nikitin, who lets the shot go. Halak makes the save. Derek Roy gets his first goal in an Oiler uniform to make it a 3-1 contest. The first Outstanding Play is brought to you by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
Why is this an outstanding play, Kevin? Because it's the first goal of the game. And it's the first point for the newest Oiler, Rob Klinkhammer. Gets in first, gets in on the forecheck. Exactly what Coach Todd Nelson said that Rob Klinkhammer does very well. Feeds it to Matt Hendricks. Hard-working guys get the first goal. When the hard-working guys get the first goal, it's always outstanding.
His third assist of the season. And first, as Drew mentioned, as a member of the Oilers. Nikitin steps up, and back the other way comes Kuhlman with Franz Nielsen. Got the shot away and then took the hip check from Petrie.
Effort. He's been up.
Goals. Hamonic sends it around the boards. Fane waiting for it. Lost it to Bailey. Pass for Opozo didn't work. Hamonic pinches in. Travis Hamonic out in front for Opozo. Snaps the shot. Scrivens the save in traffic. Paul looks for the puck. Got tripped up there by Hamonic. As the puck works out to center, DeHaan will give it to Bailey. He'll be content just to flip it in. Oscar Gluckbaugh drops it for Everly. He is checked. Nugent Hopkins, though, carries on. Nugent Hopkins gets the puck out, going after it. DeHaan had the angle. DeHaan plays it around the boards, gave it away to Hall. To Everly to Nugent Hopkins, but that pass was behind him. Hamonic having trouble getting it by Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins plays like it's road hockey, the way he knocked that puck down. Hall circles. Pass for Gordon just out of his reach. It comes right to Halak. He'll play it to an open wing. DeHaan chips it for Grabowski. Mikhail Grabowski. Brock Nelson trying to give it back to him. He does. Boychuk waiting for it. Instead, he plays it down low for Nelson. Brock Nelson lost it, turned it over to Klinkhammer. Klinkhammer right up the middle. Rob Klinkhammer hassled by Lenny, checked by Boychuk.
He might have taken a stick there, too.
Kuhlman. Grabowski. Can't make the pass work. Hickey carries on. Here is Hickey moving in. His centering pass was disrupted by Gordon, and back the other way comes Rob Klinkhammer. Good shift for him. Makes the smart play at the end of his shift and gets it down the ice.
He can skate. So he can skate.
Hickey plays it back to Wisniewski. Quickly to Clutterbuck. Now Clutterbuck to the opposite corner. Martin going after it. Schultz gets there first. Yakupov plays it off the boards and gets it out. And Drew, you were talking about the four-line game the Oilers are playing right now, playing a team game.
They really are. This is their best team game that we've seen them so far this year. They're feeding off of each other, and they're trying to carry on the momentum from one shift to the next. Now, this late little bit here, the Islanders have put more pressure on the Oilers, but still, overall, when you look at the Oilers' team game, you're seeing everybody involved.
Martin to Hickey. He will dump that puck in and head off. Schultz takes a hit, delivers to Nikitin. And Nikitin backhands the puck down into Islander territory. Hammond off the boards for Lee. Nice pass to Strome. Strome fires a shot right on. Scrivens makes the save with the body and covers up.
And when you look at a team game, you have to look at every individual. Nobody really, when you look at the way that the Arizona Coyotes played over the last number of years, they play a team game. Rob Klinkhammer comes from that environment. There, he's got a good defensive responsibility that realizes he can jump up. Yeah, he did take a stick right at the end there. He can skate, battles in hard, doesn't throw his head back in, trying to embellish. He's a hard-working guy. Gets clipped by the stick, he just keeps on going. So far, as you said, a very good shift and a very good game for Rob Klinkhammer, his first one as an Oiler.
11 minutes, 53 seconds so far, an assist and 5 hits.
That's a nice night's work.
Teddy Purcell. Right on to Halak. He'll steer it to Calvin DeHaan. DeHaan, quick pass for Lee off his skate. The Oilers get possession back. Pouliot sweeps it in. 25-21. The Islanders lead in shots, but trail on the scoreboard. Strome. The pass to Hamonic. Hamonic can't get by Petrie. Teddy Purcell to Pouliot. Derek Roy is there as well. Here's Roy to Purcell. Purcell shot, and that one just missed. Klefbom at the point. He'll go across to Mark Fane. Down low to Purcell. Here's Roy. Give and go with Teddy Purcell. Back to Klefbom. Klefbom winds. Fires a shot through traffic. Franz Nielsen blocked that. Hamonic. Under some pressure, and he will ice the puck. Hamonic. Under some pressure, and he will ice the puck.
Cotswood Interiors, everything a furniture store should be. Inspiring selection, complimentary design service, and quality you can trust.
So far, Todd Nelson has got to like what he sees from his team, except there still is that reluctance to shoot the puck. Just put the puck on net and go. You did have a shot, yeah, but it took 3 passes to get there.
Islanders have been forced to block shots. They have blocked 23 so far in this hockey game. They came in as the 6th best shot-blocking team in the NHL. Boychuk intercepts. Boychuk, backtracked by Nugent Hopkins. Takes him into the boards and gives him a hit. Bailey out in front, and oh, what a save by Scrivens as he robs the Islander captain, John Tavares. John Tavares.
Larceny.
Ben Scrivens with his 25th save of the hockey game keeps it a 3-1 contest. 5th save of the hockey game.
Safeway today, watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner.
These fans have seen great goaltending from Ben Scrivens, who have stopped now 52 of his last 54 shots he's faced. That's a .963 save percentage. Our stats man, Dave Moyer, doing the stats, and he figures that all out in his head, he tells me.
Fired.
Tavares, back to Letty. Bounced off his skates, and here is Everly flipping it high. Letty will go back to get it. Hall all over him, turns it over. Everly to Hall, backhand goes just wide. Bailey. Nugent Hopkins took it away from him as this top line continues to hound the Islander defense.
Taylor Hall's stick got stuck in the boards. Yank it out of there.
Tavares cutting for the net, hooked by Andrew Ferentz. And
You force out with Tavares drives the net speed by John Tavares.
Wood was Johnny Boy.
I gotta back up fast. Force with Tavares net. Farron says Tavares.
It was Johnny Boychuk who got the goal. Strome, 1 for...
By John says no opportunity at all to cut him off. Instead he has to hook him. Big speed by John Tavares.
Third power play for the New York Islanders. They are 1 for 2. It was Johnny Boychuk who got the goal. Strome. Killers. This is by Pouliot. Goes to the corner. Gordon, Pouliot, Clefbaum, and Fane are the penalty killers. This is Mark Fane who will send it down the ice. Wisniewski leads the rush for New York. Strome fires it around the boards. Anders Lee comes up with it in the corner. Lee. Nielsen lost it to Pouliot. Pouliot takes his time, dumps it down the ice, and he is going to head off. Matt Henricks and Teddy Purcell, the penalty killers right now for the Oilers. A minute left, a minute 20 left in the power play. Under 7.5 to go in the third period. Tavares works his way in. John Tavares back to the point it comes. Boychuk will give it to the captain. Tavares being watched by Nikitin. Feathers a pass to Opozo. Tavares, hard pass this time from Leddy. That was broken up by Boyd Gordon. Tavares has it again. Tavares back to Boychuk. Boychuk winds, fires a shot. Scriven's got a piece. Man, can Boychuk fire the puck?
He's got something behind him.
100 pucks a day in the driveway. I guess paid off. As you mentioned, Tavares, though, has it again. Tavares to Nelson. Nelson turns, gives it back to Tavares. Tavares trying to feed it out in front, blocked by Nikitin. Tavares sets up on the half wall. Tavares now moves to the middle. Tavares takes the shot himself, and it goes wide. He's got it again. It's 91 in this power play. Nelson shot, stopped. He's got it again. Tavares drops it back. Boychuk, wrist shot, and that one missed. 10 seconds of power play time remaining. Leddy lets a shot go. Opozo tried to get his stick on it, but instead it comes to Nikitin, and he fires it down the ice. The Islanders held to just one shot on that power play. Martin cutting for the net. Martin circles. He'll play it back to the point. Hamonic lets it go, and there is Scrivens to make another save. Eberle gets to it, sends it out. Martin will give it to Hamonic. Hamonic, quick pass for Clutterbuck. Stepped up on by Clefbaum. Zizekas throws it towards the net, and driving the cage with Martin. Dahan throws it in front. Here's a chance for Zizekas, and again Scrivens makes the save. Zizekas back to the point. Hamonic with a wrist shot. Martin the screen. Scrivens reaches out, grabs the puck, and holds on. Grabs the puck and holds on.
817 October 12, 2016.
Has faced 29 Islander shots. He has made Mark to the Dahan. Hamonic with a wrist shot. Martin the screen. Scrivens reaches out, grabs the puck, and holds on. 29 Islander shots. He has made 28 saves. Rogers, Oilers Hockey on Sportsnet. The play of the game is brought to you by Rogers. Live like never before.
When we look at our Rogers play of the game, it is the goal by Derek Roy. Why? Just because the guy, another hard-working shift. Everybody involved, Benoit Pouliot gets in first, chips the puck behind. Teddy Purcell takes away the boards, causes the turnover, and Derek Roy finishes it off. And maybe making amends, Teddy Purcell and Derek Roy, for that 2-on-0 that did not come up with anything. They came up with 0-0.
Well, their teammates will obviously forget all about that. They'll never hear about it.
No. If they...
And he will ice the puck.
Trust.
He's
Up for the penalty shot.
so far, John Nelson has got a light except there's still
Calgary, just like the first period, can't be too upset with the way they played. 20-9 with the shots in Calgary's favor. It's like the first period. Oilers by 2 through 2.
In years past, you look at this period and you say, okay,
so far,
Calgary, they come out after being
0%
down
vertical
by 2, they get the 2 shorties, tie things
so far,
up.
John Nelson has got a
In
light
years
what he's
past,
used
you
to
look at
except
Edmonton,
there
and that
still is
might
that
have made them wilt,
to
and that
shoot
might
the
have
puck,
been the
just
end
put the
of
puck on
their
that
game,
goal.
and
He did have a
instead,
shot,
it's been a
took three
quick
passes.
turnaround.
Yep, so far, John Nelson has got a light what he's used to except there still is that reluctance to shoot the puck, just put the
Yeah, when you look closer at the video in the second intermission.
Vishnowski.
800. 1 hour, 8
Leads
minutes,
the rush
50.
for New York.
1 hour.
Again.
Slider. 1 hour, 20 minutes. 1 hour, 1 hour, 20. 1 hour, 20. 1 hour.
Make everybody
1 hour.
fighting in a little. In the first period,
0%
I kind of thought Ben Scrivens was fighting in a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, because he has really been terrific in this game from the second and third period. He's been outshot. The Oilers have been outshot 9-2 in this third period. Ben Scrivens has been swallowing up everything. Rebounds are getting kicked to the side. Comes back in. Great extension on the pad save. And then another rebound opportunity. He slides across and makes another great save. And then a highway robbery on John Tavares with that great flash of the leather.
Tavares, Vishnowski.
Has been swallowing up everything. Outshot. The Oilers have been outshot 9-2 in this third period. Ben Scrivens has been swallowing up everything. Rebounds are getting kicked to the side. Comes back in. Great extension on the pad save. And then another rebound opportunity. He slides across and makes another great save. And then a highway robbery on John Tavares with that great flash of the leather.
Tavares, Vishnowski. He hit Hendricks with that shot. Opozo. Centering, Bailey's shot deflected and gets by Tavares.
And what the Islanders are doing, they are making the Oilers play really close to their net in this third period. It's been a very impressive push by the New York Islanders.
Boyd Gordon can't get it out. Hickey able to keep it in. Boyd Gordon, though, eventually works that puck out. Anders Lee turned it over. Clefbaum fires a shot, and there is Ben Scrivens with a glove save.
End of the second period, who had the big chance.
In the first period,
he was looking
skyward. Ben Scrivens was fighting it a little bit.
Trying to get it in.
Maybe I'm wrong, because he has really been terrific in this game from the second and third period. He's been outshot. The Oilers have been outshot 9-2 in this third period. Ben Scrivens has been swallowing up everything. Rebounds are getting kicked to the side. Comes back in. Great extension on the pad save. And then another rebound opportunity. He slides across and makes another great save. And then a highway robbery on John Tavares with that great flash of the leather.
Vishnowski. He scored.
1 hour.
Can't get it out. Hickey
Keyboard
able
short.
to keep it in. Boyd Gordon, though, eventually works that
0%
puck out.
vertically scroll.
Anders Lee turned it over. Clefbaum to Klinkhammer. Checked at center. Tavares will give it to Vishnowski. 4.5 minutes left to go in regulation time. The Oilers trying to win their 7th game against the Eastern Conference.
This is when you talk pucks out, pucks in.
Anton Lander. Yakupov cutting for the net. Backhand, and that one was high and wide. Nikitin keeps it in for his fellow Russian. Yakupov against Boychuk. Boychuk out there to out-muscle that puck.
Just a simple play there by Nail Yakupov. If he just pushes that puck back down deep, you don't have to make a little higher risk play taking the puck to the high slot in the middle of the ice. Push it back down deep, get some more offensive zone time.
Anton Lander forces the turnover. Hall, Nugent Hopkins, and Eberle on the ice right now. And here comes Hall. To Eberle. To Hahn, takes him. Hall's got the puck. Hall. To Petrie. Slap pass, got by Eberle, but comes to Ferentz, who will give it right back to 14 cross ice. Nugent Hopkins had it hop over his stick. Hall down low. Eberle back to Ferentz at the point. Snaps that shot, and it goes high. Petrie pinching in. Eberle behind the net. He gets double teamed by Leddy and DeHaan. And it's Opozo who comes up with the puck, and he'll give it to DeHaan, and gives it right back to Opozo. Snaps a shot. Scrivens the save. The rebound juggle, but he'll hang on.
Well, Nugent Hopkins, Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle go out there.
Opinion, and he really felt
And
that
they
the
get
arm
the
was
puck
already
deep in the
up
zone.
and McClellan
And they forecheck.
maybe shouldn't have got that
very good
change.
shift.
0% vertically scroll.
Still on there with his line, and Ryan Nugent Hopkins and his group come on. They've got Cassian with him now.
817 October 12/2016 Calgary Flames. Edmonton Oilers YouTube audio playing tab item YouTube video player group. Next keyboard shortcut shift plus N button. 0% vertically scroll.
Maybe shouldn't have got that change.
Monahan's still on there with his line, and
Late change in his opinion, and he really felt that the arm was already up and
0% vertically scroll.
maybe shouldn't have got that change.
Monahan's still on there.
You don't have to remind to shoot the puck, and he does it for. But sometimes you just want to put the puck on the goalie, hope for a teammate can get to. That's what the Oilers want to get, that mindset.
And Todd Nelson would like to get his first win in regulation time, and he doesn't want to be a guy that loses the Islanders at home because it doesn't happen that often. The Oilers winning their last 4 meetings against the Islanders here at Rexall.
Rogers, nice extra pressure on. No pressure on the guy already. Way to go. Exactly. Throw that on him.
Well, he's already defeated the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Great question today was asked by the great Jim Matheson to Todd Nelson, saying that Oklahoma City's only lost 1 time since you've left. Todd Nelson, Cup champions. Oklahoma City's only lost 1. Question today was asked by the great Jim Matheson to Todd Cup champions. Great question today was asked by the great Jim Matheson to Todd Nelson, saying that Oklahoma City's only lost 1 time since you've left. Todd said, yeah, it looks like they got the can. Great question today was asked by the great Jim Matheson to Todd Nelson, saying that Oklahoma City's only lost 1 time since you've left. Todd said, yeah, it looks like they got the cancer out of there.
And right now, the net empty for the New York Islanders. And, oh boy, Gordon came close. So with 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Jack Cap.
Down by 2 and put Halak on the bench. Strowman Simmons goes down the puck through the blue paint, and an opportunity if you can get to it for Hendricks. He does. Ben Simmons is knocked down in that play. And there's an empty
goal by the Cowboys. If you can get to it for him. Strowman Simmons goes down the puck through the blue paint, and an opportunity if you can get to it for Hendricks. He does.
Ben Simmons is knocked down in that play.
And there's a
Ben Simmons is knocked down in that play.
And there's an empty net goal.
Last night for
17
on a hockey night. The old Cowboys by Matt Hendricks.
Matt Hendricks has 5 goals.
Detroit Red Wings was on a hockey night. And Craig threw. Look at how much.
5. It is to go when the Oilers win. Spot up. Matt Hendricks, who has led the 5 spot up. And they have put a 5 spot up. Thanks to Matt Hendricks, who has led the charge offensively. I mean, you don't get to say that too often. The last time these teams will meet will be February the 10th. The next time these teams will meet will be February the 10th. That game on the island.
Penalty coming up to the Oilers.
So Halak slams his stick as he goes to the bench. And with 1:04 left, the Islanders will get a power play. Pat Given of DeBold entered the score and win and has won the Blu-ray prize pack from E1 courtesy of Safeway and Heinz Beans and Pasta. And we can keep going because we've got more winners on our Safeway score and win contest. On behalf of Safeway, Heinz Beans and Pasta, Leah Bond of Edmonton, while she's got the Hoover airless cordless vacuum. Thanks to Matt Fraser and his goal. Matt Fraser now has 5 goals on the year. 2 of them have come in an Oiler uniform. The kid from Red Deer making an impression here in northern Alberta. Red Deer, his goal. 2 of them have come in an Oiler uniform. The kid from Red Deer making an impression here in northern Alberta. Yakupov in the penalty box for slashing late in the hockey game. The Islanders 1 for 3. Their only goal coming from Boychuk with the man advantage. Tavares. Back to Leddy. He'll give it to Boychuk. Johnny Boychuk back to Nick Leddy. Over to the captain, John Tavares. Tavares fires his shot. Scrivens another save. Boychuk centers, and that one dribbles in. Brock fires it.
Brock Nelson puck in. Olympic saves. This one, the puck is, and he just sweeps between his legs.
10th goal of the season, or 15th goal of the season for Brock Nelson. who came in without a goal in hhis last 6 games.
That's his 15th goal, though.
His 15th goal of the year. He's got 8 goals on the power play.
With the bar as far as good. They got stopped by a good goalie tonight.
The Edmonton
video in the second intermission. Oilers will be very happy about the one that wasn't called. And then the call that McDavid got for the penalty shot. Entertaining night in the first game at Rogers Place.
Ty Nelson went in second at the bench and first in regulation as the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, and they continue to beat up on the Islanders here at Rexall Place. They have now won 5 straight.
And kudos should go to Todd Nelson and his coaching staff. There was structure tonight in the game. It was a very good team game for the Edmonton Oilers. They got in with a plan. They executed that plan. For the most part, they were the better team tonight. With a point, there was structure tonight in the game. It was a very good team game for the Edmonton Oilers. They got in with a path. There was structure tonight in the game.
Brought to you by Rogers, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers and the NHL. By Molson Canadiens.